ban it. So there are so many ways that has been shown in the regular season to outdraft Liquid Aura.
All right, so we'll have to see what kind of options they explore right here. Like you mentioned, it has been, to be fair though, it has been 2 weeks, right? There's a lot of time. We saw that RRQ out of nowhere improved so much. Who's to say that for Liquid Aura, Kabuki hasn't picked up yet another pocket pick, signature pick that he can use to really get his team an edge in this matchup.
I mean, technically, you can put Roger in one of his heroes, right? Because Kabuki was able to find a Maniac on the Roger in the regular season. So we'll see what happens here. No respect in that particular area, aside from the Moskov and the Harrod, ladies and gentlemen, as we get into the drafting phase of game number 1 presented to you by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy. We can see that Liquid bans out the Ling, the X-Borg, as well as the Alpha. So that much is already telling of what Annabelle can do, that it warrants a first phase ban. That is extremely rare to see, an Alpha.
It really hasn't been an insane, crazy pick, but especially for Evos, it's just a different story. But with the Baxia picked up so early on right here, Lo Yi Yu Song for the side of Evos, it's already more global presence, but the chip is left open. TLID can go for it if they really want to.
Something about this chip though is the fact that they don't care for it. Okay, Team Liquid Aura, they decide to go for the Grokken and the Varga. They're just relying on their comfort picks here in the first game of their playoffs run.
And who's to say that comfort picks can't work for Team Liquid? They want to go for this. So far, it seems a bit more of a pick-off composition by all means. There's that combo, right? The Baxia Shield Unity into a long-distance skill shot that has to be aimed properly. For Evos, it's more of a rounded front-to-back, like team fight AoE composition. Wait to see how it goes, because right now, both gold laners hasn't really been shown just yet.
Okay, for Evos, they go for the Akai. And remember, this Akai can be flexed into the roam, into the EXP specifically for Evos, because Fluffy can utilize this Akai pick in the EXP lane, but it can still also stay in the jungle. So there's this layer of flexibility that, of course, Team Liquid needs to kind of unpack and unravel. So going into the second phase, what do you think will be the priority in terms of bans?
I thought for sure gold laners, but with both teams not having gold laners, they might really just try and target the other possibilities. Jungles technically is up there, unless of course Team Liquid Aura are considering, there might be a bit of a flex. But for Evos, knowing that they have the first pick after this, they're gonna go and start betting out some gold laners here and try and make sure that they do have a winning matchup in the gold lane.
Now, that was one of the keys to victory, right? The thing that Miracle mentioned earlier on, that blueprint that they're starting to follow up on. There you go, Natan, Claude, Moskov, and the Harith. That's 4 gold lane bans taken away from side of Team Liquid. Team Liquid, they also understand the importance of Dreams. They take away his Kaja, fearing that they will look for a pick-off play, especially with the Luo Yi already in the composition that Evos have brought.
They might be thinking of trying to, instead of going against a Kaja, they might prefer going up against something like a Franco, right? With the Grok already in their hands, Team Liquid can just deny the Iron Hook again and again. And by all means, if the Franco is setting up for a play, oh, never mind. I thought the Novaria can expose him and deny that. So with the Franco banned away, is this hinting at an assassin pick, right? With 2 suppressions banned out already for Team Liquid.
Yeah, I mean, true. If they really want to go for an assassin, maybe it could happen, but they already have a Baxia. So I'm not too sure if they want to be flexing that Baxia into XP or the Grok into XP and the Baxia into roam, right? It would just be too forced. I think at this point, they're just taking away Dream's comfort picks. The Kaja was one of the biggest keys to victory for Dreams in Season 11 when he was in playoffs to make those crazy initiations, crazy pickoffs happen. And the Franco, we know how good Dreams is on the Franco. We don't even need to talk about that. We don't even need to explain it. But for Evos, they have forced Liquid on that carry. the pick that we said not to give Kabuki. But it's good for Evos Glory. Why? Because they set up a winning matchup with the Roger. And if we see the pattern of today, of MPLID Season 13 playoffs, day number 1, based on Geek versus RQ, if you hold the early game, you hold a massive advantage. That's where the value is at. Early game dominance. TL, they're going to have to wait a bit longer. Verto Navaria and the carry.
Well, we see the explanation though, the Benedetta coming in, especially for Oran, that's a very active hero that wants to be mobile, does not want to be suppressed by the Kaja or the Franco right here. So they seem to have a front line, good long distance, and also good dives towards the back line. So a lot more dynamic approaches available. Whereas for Evos, they have these big ultimates they can use to go for neutral objective contest. So to add to this, we really want to get some more card control, some more tankiness maybe, or more lockdown. That's the Tigreal for Dreams. Not a strange sight at all.
Of course, right? Coming into this, we were actually talking about it backstage that Tigreal would be a big contested hero between Yaoi as well as Dreams. We should have seen it coming. So these are two very highly explosive roamers that both of these teams have opted for. And if we take a look at this, early and mid goes for TL. Late stage for Evos, team coordination. It looks like it is quite equal, quite fair. What are we to expect in this match?
I expect Team Liquid to be a bit more aggressive, right? Until Evos can kind of stabilize, and then they can try and be creative with the low Yi. I think the diversion becomes, again, a big factor right here, and how well Evos can play around it will decide how much of an advantage they can have against Team Liquid right here, especially later on when they want to go for these neutral objectives, and they can be sneaky about it, even though they do have all these card control tools like the Black Dragon form and the heavy spin.
And now the Battle of the Blues commences, ladies and gentlemen, as we get to game number 1 in this best of 5 between Team Liquid as well as Evos Glory.
Glory.
You have to say it like that.
You really do after Ranger Amas, but momentum, very important as well. Here at night, today in the Jakarta International Velodrome, it's a full house once again for our second match.
Everyone's ready for some Mobile Legends action. I think Yehesco going with the Purify here. Quite the intelligent move. Allows him to be a bit more aggressive, to move forward and not just stay in the back due to the fear of being engaged randomly by that Tigreal. But if you look at Dreams, he's going tenacity with the extra vitality. He wants to be the main frontline right here and maybe allow Annabelle to save his heavy spin to use for big pickups or big team fights instead of just using it to get out when he is the main frontline being bursted down.
Wait a second. Okay. We see... Okay, who got that?
Annabelle.
There you go. Annabelle with a little bit of an advantage here in the first few minutes of the game, ladies and gentlemen. But it looks like up until this point, there have been no trades. It's exciting to see that both of these teams, they're relying on that level 4 power spike, right? Yaoi's still level 2. We can see Dreams as well, unable to make that big play from happening. One of the main differences is, of course, with the Luo Yi, Klokken has a little bit more to say in terms of that damage, but it looks like it's TL that's pressuring Evos here in the top lane. Klokken's on the way, but no engagement just yet. They're both playing objectively here.
I'm surprised that Team Liquid are the ones aggressing to try and first go for this neutral objective, because they know that Evos are the ones who have the big tools. Right now it gets reset, and I think Evos are going to try and make it difficult unless Team Liquid can go for a pickoff.
Shield into the instantly with the barrier too. Dream's still able to escape. Aran gets a good eye for a 9. Stun him up. Not a final blow over to the turtle. It's going to be a petrified. Oh, stun Gugun, but he still gets it anyways. Meanwhile on the back, it's a kill traded in. Both junglers taken down, but Liquid secure the turtle.
All right, Klokken gonna use that diversion, but he doesn't commit onto it. So that's a 1-for-1 trade. TLID still gonna be able to get that neutral objective. However, they were able to trade it back. In this engage, who has the better late game? And if they keep trading like this, who is it worth it for?
I must say, with a Novaria and a carry, Team Liquid I think has the significantly stronger late game. But it comes down to the neutral objectives. That's where Evos have, have an advantage. But we are at odds right here. Unfortunately, we're on the wrong side.
We got a battle.
We're getting called out as well from
You
the
can see the fans look
Indonesian
at us.
test.
What's funny is they're sitting on the Liquid side. We're sitting on the Evo side. So
Wrong
it's the opposite
territory.
sides. But it's okay. You know, it's always fun to have these little matches.
Well, back to the point here. If Evos can force Liquid into a big proper fight without Liquid setting up, poking him down, then maybe they can have a bit more of an advantage. But considering how Liquid have been playing, yeah, they're going to go for something guaranteed only. So Ron right here goes for a 1v1 play.
And wins it hard. Iran very, very low. Annabelle going to look for the flank. Iran with the final blow into the back, finding the final blow onto the XP creep to get out with those dashes. Clean maneuvers.
So such good foresight, right? Realizing that he was low, he shouldn't have seen that diversion play coming, but still able to get out of that sticky situation. That trade doesn't pull off in for Evos. And it looks like up until this point, it's still a gold lead for Liquid Aura.
I think a big significant lead for Team Liquid is the fact that they can pick and choose what kind of engagement. They have good disengage, they have card control immunity in Yaoi because of the Grog's passive. So they do have the mobility as well for Aran to go and pull apart Evo's this team fight composition. There's diversion though.
Shield Unity used up. Black Dragon form now with a heavy spin too, and it's going to be Glock who secures it as Annabelle pins 2 members down. Yeah, we able to flicker around, but Gugu not so much. Final ball! Aran in the midst of it all finds a good choke point. Able to dodge away from that skill one of Fluffy. The shot tanked up by Brands.
Immaculate 1-4-2 trade. Klokun gonna be able to help Evos out just a bit with the fact that he was able to get that down, right? That turtle falls for them. Both of the retribution failed both of these junglers. And yet, with that particular movement coming through, they're able to kind of equalize here. Klokun though.
Cheeky diversion into like a pounce. Brand strikes back.
See, the funny thing is, after everything we've seen from Evo's Glory, a lot of people would say, oh, wait a minute, this 1v1.
Oh, beautiful eye for an eye into the final blow. The 2 XP laners just trading back and forth.
But back to that point, right? If you talked about pillars in Evos, most people would think about Dreams. Most people would think about maybe even Fluffy at some point, right? Brands, or even Annabelle. But Klokun has always been so good at creating the foundation for the rest of the teammates' success. And we see that happening with him being put on something like the Luoyi that is a little bit more macro-centric and macro-heavy. He's able to dictate a lot of these particular team fights. And tempo, there you go!
An implosion straight on Yaoi and Kabuki. No Purify for Kabuki. Yaoi is holding on now, puts the barrier down. Not gonna go just yet. Now it's Gugun puts in some damage on the clock, who doesn't have a flicker, and it's gonna be enough with a Poison to take him out. Meanwhile, Brands with Lycan form, trying to get rid of Gugun, forced to use a Purify, and Dreams tanks up a shot, very risky. Around in the back line, now jumping onto Brands, finding the final dash to pick up the killing spree. Fast tempo, Gugun, Shield Unity, locking him down into the Phantom Slash, and into a double kill for Aran.
That's the mobility advantage here for Team Liquid. Really traded away by Fluffy, but this is what you can expect. The movement speed advantage, the slows coming in from your hair skill as well. Team Liquid, if they want to fight, they can find a fight. If they don't want to, then they can avoid it. They have Purifiers on the core members as well. And in a drawn-out fight that's going back and forth, they have a lot more spammable skills. Even though they did not have Kabuki in that fight on the bottom side, they were able to slowly but surely wear down the HP bars of Evos and take them out. So for Evos, they gotta really dig deep, dig down on those neutral objective takes and try and get something of a combo. Because otherwise, you're gonna get poked down, you're gonna get low, and Aran is gonna swoop in to try and seal the deal for his team.
And the thing is, it's not like the Evos are playing towards the tempo of Team Liquid, right? They're looking for opportunities, but it keeps failing them, right? We saw the Fluffy play with the diversion in the bottom side, but still unable to find success. So what's the idea now? What do Evos need to look for specifically?
Probably a bit of a combo, and if they can really try and shut down Gugun here, it's going to be so valuable to their game plan, right? The neutral objective-centric style. The thing is, Gugun is also so tanky. People kind of forgot how tanky the Baksha is. It's part of the reason why the Baksha was so meta back then. So if they're trying to go for the frontliners, they're too tanky. Already with the blade armor as well. If they try and go for the jungler, the roamer and the EXP lane, they're also very slippery, so they can't really get a decisive engage. Look at the in-game equipment right here. With the Sky Guardian helmet completed for Gugun, he can stay on the map indefinitely again and again. And even if there's some damage traded back by Evos, he can just stay, wait a bit, and make sure that he's always in the picture for a neutral objective contest.
But what's good for Evos now is technically Brands is not too far behind, right? He's trying to level the lead that Kabuki has brought in. 2 items on both of them. Both of them are actually not at their power spikes just yet, so there is still opportunity in for Evos. And like you mentioned, Arashi, that combo that needs to happen.
If you look at the item builds, at least for Brands, he's actually going with a lot more attack speed than I would expect. So he's going for big play for Evos though.
Wow, flickering potion only onto Gugun though now. Around the back line, 3-man Petrify right into the Astral Sphere as Gugun is able to escape right now, and the eye for an eye gets used up by Aran, baiting Brands in with the Lycan Pounce. Yaoi, so holding on the wild charge, finds it onto Brands, shot down, and Yehezkiel picks up the kill. Fluffy goes to the back with the Petrify and the Furious Die, but it doesn't connect as a diversion from Evo's Glory will only be used defensively to get them back to base.
Did you see the layering
Yes.
of skills? Arashi, break that down, because that was beautiful to watch.
Ooh, and again, wow! He gets taken out by, was that the lethal ignition? Oh, Yaoi, taken out the tail end. But man, the layering again of the spells, using it so efficiently for Team Liquid, they don't overreact. Even though we talked about this, Gugun getting dove on, getting focused down, he has the tank, the physical defense, and he knows that Clockun wants to save some spells, so he won't be completely nuked down by magic damage. So Team Liquid immediately counter-engage, and Aran was able to get a massive play right there, out-damaging Clockun in that team fight. That was insane.
It was so clean. The synergy was there, again, like you mentioned, the layering of skills. And now they have the space, they have the tempo. The Lord is still marching in the bottom side. Meanwhile, this mid lane is crashing. Meanwhile, the top lane is crashing. Even the lane pushes are as well layered by Team Liquid here. And it's propelling them to a 6k gold lead. And earlier on, that gold gap, that 2k gold gap maybe still can be turned around, but the fact that Brands is on a hero like the Roger that needs to go for that snowball, it's a little bit more difficult for Evos to come back.
Exactly. All they have right now is combos, but looking at how Team Liquid is playing, how do you even find a combo right here? I haven't seen the Purifies used by Team Liquid. It hasn't been forced out of them for so far. The positioning of Yehezkiel and Kabuki have also been so good. And every single one of them are just so good at just taking away your attention so that Evos can't really go for a proper fight because they're just constantly worried. When they're going for Yehezkiel, they're concerned about Aran. When they're going for Aran, they're concerned about Kabuki. And that just makes it so difficult. And if they just wait around like this, we're already seeing Yehezkiel's damage ramp up only after the addition of the Lightning Truncheon.
Look at that full damage build. Already to a BOD, he's on the way.
Oh man.
2,000 gold lead 2 between the junglers. So you can imagine how much tankier Baxia Gugun is over Annabelle.
And look at the items as well. Fluffy went for the Antique Cuirass. So he'll be able to 1v1 against Gugun and Aran better. But this means that in a proper team fight, Kabuki is gonna absolutely shred him down. He might even get taken out before he lands on the Black Dragon form. I thought that diversion was going to be used, but they didn't take it.
And it's also a late game build, it seems, from Brand. So he's going for the Corrosion Scythe, 3 attack speed items. An interesting choice for this game.
He wasn't itemizing for the mobility, the burst damage. He's trying to match Kabuki in damage output and maybe rely on a bit of that built-in tankiness instead to really gain some value from this Roger pick. But as it is right now, they're just getting poked down again and again. And the fact that Brands went for this build means he's going to be that much more unsustainable. And in the full-on all-out fight, Kabuki even respected Evos and he went with the Firmness Tenacity combo. So he is still surprisingly tankier than you would expect.
And by the way, Gugun is level 14 compared to Annabelle at level 12. So even if they want to go for the contest, They need to figure out a way of either eliminating Hugun from this entire Lord fight or displacing him somehow. But even that will not be easy with the cover coming in from Yawi over and over and over again. Not to mention Yehezkiel, who has been that person to open up the vision, open up the map. And you can see Evos, they might not want to commit onto this. However, they do have Kwokun with the diversion. Can definitely bring back Brands into this team fight. Let's see.
Iran, eye for an eye, actually cancels out the ability.
Oh.
Implosion flicker only onto Iran. That's a petrifying Fury's dive used up as well. A big shutdown claimed by Evos Glory as they look for more, but Yawi will disengage for now. No wild charge, no astral echo. Yehezkiel poking him down still. But Evos Glory have used quite a bit of resources themselves.
And this is the issue. When they're trying to go for this, they did get the pick off on the one member that can be vulnerable, Aran, who's reliant on that eye for an eye. But even then, they won that and they are forced to go back. Team Liquid are the ones still initiating, trying to force them into fights right here as the diversion comes through.
The reset not happening. The barrier is misplaced just a bit, and Evos Glory pull a trigger while charge into the back line now, but Kumgun not able to find it. Kwokun secures it for Evos Glory, but look at the re-engage coming in from the side of Liquid Aura. The cavalry charges into enemy lines, but Evos Glory disperse quick enough.
They find no one. They charge and they find no one. And Kwokun time and time again, the Lord Master. What the heck? 2 objectives taken in by this person, this man, this Luo Yi, this Jimat, the lucky charm of Evos Glory.
He's been able to secure 2 neutral objectives right here. I mean, you know, you can be superstitious, but Kwokun is winning it out for his team, especially right there. He's showing again that when it comes down to a full-on fight, when Team Liquid can't really stall and stop Evos from going immediately to try and secure that Lord, they're going to be forced to just dive in and make a lot more risky plays. So if Evos are the ones in control, it's a whole different story. And so diversion comes in.
Furious dive and the Petrify connecting to. Final blow of the Petrify now onto Fluffy as he has the immortality now. As in the midst of it all, the damage comes through and Kabuki is able to melt Dreams down. Looking for more. Brand's caught by the barrier. Guggen running Kwokun down as he flickers out to safety. A messy team fight. Brands was caught off position.
That was a integral part of their gameplay for Evos, right? This diversion, they go for the sandwich maneuver, but Team Liquid completely turn it around. Dreams and Brands, the 2 main anchors of Evos, are out of the way, and it looks like Yehezkiel wants to look for more.
3-man Astral Echo. Yawi zoning. Oh, the fadeaway damage almost taking Fluffy out. Kabuki doing work on that base turret in the mid lane. A diversion. Oh, just to scout around. And Annabelle buys the Winter Truncheon.
Why didn't that team fight work out? Why didn't that sandwich play work out for Evos?
I think it's because they didn't really put a lot of emphasis to shutting down Kabuki. They were going in for the segment of Team Liquid that was cut off from their base and the turret, but further down, further closer to the base of Team Liquid, Kabuki was absolutely free hitting. Despite all the spells available, all these big ultimates that Evos have at their disposal, Kabuki did not even use the Purify. That was how free he was. And he was free hitting completely, and on the other hand, the second person who fell from Evos was Brands, so without that damage output, they can't do much as Annabelle just jumped on.
Taking slow. Yowie! Wild charge to the back as the actual Echo was there, but the Furious dive in. The Petrify will be used up. Kabuki with the Purify still able to escape now. An implosion onto Yowie and Guggen only the frontliners. Kabuki still free hitting. And now another layer of damage comes through. It's a conceal from Liquid. These charges.
2-0 trade, and look at that damage output from Kabuki. 12,000.
Wow.
He was so free in the back line. We could even see Fluffy going for an attempt to shut him down, but with all those items ramping up for Kabuki already, as well as the Wind of Nature, there's just so much maneuverability that Kabuki can utilize to dodge out the damage, and that's a free Lord for Team Liquid.
I don't even think Kabuki was trying to dodge out of damage. He just held his ground and went to try and duel Fluffy with a Wind of Nature. With the fact that Fluffy has no Blade Armor, he's forced to go with the Immortal and with a Quiet Armor because he was getting chunked down by a Yehezkiel a bit too much. So he just immediately gets shredded down. And just like that, after taking out the Black Dragon, Kabuki just kept moving forward without any real threat right now. The fact that Evos are having a bit of a front to back is really coming to bite them in the back. Because Roger is trying to compete in damage output against a carry, and at 18 minutes, this is a whole different story.
The Twilight armor by Fluffy. Really respecting that poke damage, man. He's been chunked so many times before the team fight even begins, especially in the siege. I think that'll play a big part of how he can try to look for a defense with Evos.
Even for Annabelle, he has a winter truncheon if I'm not seeing this wrong.
Yeah, he does.
So he's just trying to go for actually survivability.
Look at his play. Looking very low. Dreams conceal, but the Lord comes into the mid lane. Liquid will not be able to find more. Here with the Lord push. Diversion though. Evos Glory want to look for more. Gugun gonna be caught off position, but it's only just by Brands and Dreams. Yowie, watch charge. Good dodge by Brands. Oh, what on! 3-man Petrify. No real combo to follow it up just yet. And they look for the slow damage to Dreams. In the front first, as the 4-man Astral Echo was connected by Eskill, shooting down Brands and just playing with that poke.
Oh, wow. I mean, that re-engage coming in from Evos, that segmentation was nearly great, but Team Liquid were able to recollect themselves after getting caught off guard so quickly that you would expect it should have gone in favor of Evos, but it didn't.
It's like they expected it and they already preemptively moved with that as a possibility. Now Gugun himself picking up a winter truncheon right here. The extra bit of survivability can bait out the all-ins from the opposing teams. It seems to be the case right here. But yes, the barricades, by the way, from Yowie are very lethal as... Oh. It was a scouting uses of the skill, I guess. But look at how Team Liquid is positioning. They have full control over the map. And even as they're sitting in the base, Yehezkiel is just poking at them. And more importantly, revealing them, knowing that there isn't a play right here where two members from Evos are actually hiding in the back, in the jungle somewhere.
It looks like they froze the purple buff as well, right?
Oh, Yehezkiel Purify walks out with the Astral Recall, gets a 5-man Astral Echo as well. Around with Ivor now in the midst of it all, forcing an implosion play. And Yowie, now with the power of nature, is a winter truncheon bought by Arani, will die, but look at the shots coming down from downtown from Yehezkiel. Kabuki free hitting, and it's Kabuki who continues his onslaught of damage. With a killing spree, Brands is next to the chopping block. It's a triple kill for Brands, but Kabuki is still full HP. 3 for 3. Yehezkiel and Kabuki versus Annabelle and Fluffy. Kabuki getting rid of those HP bars. Another Astral Sphere connecting, and now it's going to be another Astral Echo as well. The base wide open, but the mini waves will spawn back up for Evos Glory for them to be able to defend.
They might go for the bottom turret here, but Evos seem to be able to clear it out. Kabuki just undeterred. He knows he can very easily 1v2 this unless Evos bring in some reinforcements. The fact that it was an even trade is great for Evos, but at the same time now, you can see that even just Kabuki and Yehezkiel, the main, most important members for the backline of Liquid, Evos just, they need more than 3 members to deal with them.
That's the plan, right? Annabelle, does he go for... But if he does, at this point, he gets shredded in by Kabuki. Kabuki, like, it was supposed to go right for Evos, right? That was their plan. They used the diversion play. They were able to get Yehezkiel. They released so many resources on Yehezkiel, but he was still able to get out after everything that was thrown at him. And he was able to bait so many resources for the eventual re-engage for Aura to get that much value. And now we circle back onto the neutral objective. We circle back onto the Lord here in the 22nd minute of the game. It's been 22 minutes, by the way.
So the pattern continues, Eterna, from the previous match. What was game 5?
21?
23. 23 minutes. We're going to be hitting that in 4 seconds. It still seems like it's anyone's game at this point. Yowie! The cavalry charge with Yaoi leading the pact. Kabuki capitalizes. Gugun, shield unity forward. No Fluffy to play with. Dreams though, waiting in the midst. The tiger waits for its prey to look vulnerable. Oh, Gugun and Yaoi though will read it out. Conceal now by Dreams, defensively cancelled out. Meanwhile, Yeheziel doing a good job at zoning Annabelle, shooting Dreams down as well. And Aran gets his Rose Gold Meteor popped up, but Team Liquid Aura secure an evolved Lord.
All this time, Aran on the Benedetta. He has this much of an impact. He's been hiding it this entire time. We've only been seeing the Paquito plays. And he pulls out the Benedetta finally in the playoffs. And this is the dominance.
Wah, tapi sekarang kuncinya harus ada di Yaoi sih. Yaoi harus ngelamain Lordnya dengan menggunakan barir. Karena kalau nggak, pushnya cuma satu lane. Dan itu akan percuma dengan Lord Evolve. Lord Evolve-nya akan sia-sia. Dan
Considering how this game is going, that is very possible. But look at this, the Lord is just moving a bit too fast. Members of Team Liquid aren't really there just yet, but now they're trying to converge. And here comes the Astral Echo.
They want to use it to fight. Fluffy caught the shield unity. Still able to survive while charging the backline, stunning 3 members. Aran not looking for anything just yet. It's a good purify onto the implosion of Dreams. But Gugun is going to be pinned down all the way in the back as Brands goes in for the free hit onto Yaoi, but he still has the Immortality. Gugun, Immortality popped as well. Base turret up top taken down. The Petrify and the Furious Dive onto Gugun. The chain combos and the 2 tanks will be able to deal with Gugun. But now another wave comes crashing down in the bottom lane. Evos send Claw and Fluffy to defend, and they will be able to. Liquid Aura not able to end things in the 24th minute.
Diversion play. He shouldn't be able to find anyone there though. But yeah, that Lord push wasn't as organized as it should have been, right? They weren't able to fully utilize the Lord in that mid lane because the crashing, the timing was kind of off. And despite Gugun being able to buy so much time, they weren't able to get the maximum out of it. Arashi, what happened?
I think just got there not in time, and they can really go for a lot of chunks, a lot of poke damage. That's the thing that they've been using here to really get a foothold in this neutral objective take. It's not the big ultimates, the big card control tools. It's the fact that they can go in for short trades, win it out, or go even. And then let's say, for instance, Aran can just heal up by going to the side lane. And look at this diversion though.
Aran catches it. It's going to be too late. An implosion. Aran. Immortality down to the winner. Truncheon, he pops it in time. Will he be able to escape though? Eye for an eye, Aran. No. Annabelle takes him down.
70 seconds on that death timer, by the way. So despite them putting all their resources out, if they're able to get more picks like that and fully capitalize over it, especially with timings on the neutral objectives, then that's probably how Evos will be able to turn this entire thing around, right? 50 seconds for Aran to pop up, 20 seconds left. So Evos have a 30-second opening, knowing that Aran will not be there to harass in the side lanes and go in at the last minute to re-engage in these team fights.
Well, a big difference right now, especially in the damage output. Brands has a Wind Talker and Kabuki has a Wind of Nature. When it comes down to damage output, we've seen that Brands can really keep up when it comes to just pure DPS. Oh, and this diversion, man, it's just... Whoa, hang on.
Go well charged by Yaoi, but he hits the other side of the wall. So able to find some damage, and Goku pops in a winner Truncheon. Now Kabuki gonna be caught, he pops in a Purify, and he's able to escape for somehow Claw! Finds the shutdown! And it's a double kill that he secures. A big blunder by Liquid Aura, and look at the death timers. Aran alive, Yeheziel trying to look for a trade now as he pops in Astral Meteor. One shot can do it, but Annabelle blocks him from that. The evolved Lord, now for Evo's glory.
The crowd goes wild, ladies and gentlemen. The Evos fans are celebrating what was supposed to be a controlled game for Aura from Team Liquid has been turned around just behind on that diversion play. In the latest of the game, this damage is ramping up. And remember, Kabuki is on a carry. A carry is notoriously short-ranged. And the problem is, she is susceptible to that magic damage from Klakun. What a play from the mid laner.
Want to see how Evos can use this, because it's a great moment for them. They've completely turned around the gold lead, actually leading right here. But they are up against a League in Novaria, and they do have carry to deal with the Lord. We'll have to see. With the Purifies still on cooldown, this is an opportunity for Evos to really seal the deal.
into the mid lane they go. Look at that Lord. Still a chunky boy. But Kabuki has to respawn. I lose 2 base turrets. Eye for an eye by Aran. Kabuki still hitting onto the Lord. Evos Glory not really utilizing this Lord to go for a fight. They want to play it slow. They've equalized the game completely.
Now it's just a difference in the possibility of a diversion. That is what Evos have as an advantage, and that's what they've been able to use. Now with Team Liquid just not having the same kind of pressure, the same kind of control, even fewer turrets to try and get into safety too, it's gonna be a bit of a problem. And funny enough, for both teams, the only turret standing is the one furthest away from the Lord. With how often the diversions are happening right here, I'm not sure what's the plan for Team Liquid here. Do they want to keep just pushing the aggression? They want to bank on a split push play maybe from Aran.
They need to properly assess the situation, right? Because with Aran on the Benedetta, they were banking on the fact that they could go for that split push play. The far lane play, the harassment of the far lane, but with this diversion present, it has been impossible. Maybe earlier on in the game, they can lose Aran, sacrificing Aran for the better of the game, but at this point, with the death timers ramping up, it's not a sacrifice that they should be willing to take. Ladies and gentlemen, we're entering the 30th minute of the game.
Already seeing some adaptations. Athena shield on the carry. He knows. That is a massive problem right here. Now with that Athena though, there's a chance that Kabuki will be able to perhaps like sustain long enough in these big fights. Definitely needs to be a multi-person effort to try and take down this carry, especially when the Purify is still up. With 25 seconds to go with the Lord. Oh, they were just spotted out.
Dreams takes it.
Oh,
Dreams. Flicker as well.
That's a big resource.
Now he has the wild charge. He goes in. He is able to stun Brands based on the Purify. Good. Poissons. Aran disengaging. Black Dragon form. Baited out as well. Around with Phantom Slash now dashing out to safety. Evolve Lord is back up in this game. One death could be the end of it all.
Yeah. It's too expensive at this point. Diversion play.
Comes on to Aran again with the implosion. Immortality. Now with Winter Truncheon. No! Beautiful shot by Dreams to cancel out any Winter Truncheon play from happening. But now an Astral Echo into Kabuki walking up. Yaoi, no wild charge just yet. Pops in the barrier, but is not able to find Annabelle. Oh, completely stuck in the barrier. He finds a wild charge though. Annabelle buys the immortality, buying a little bit more time. Dreams, no implosion, but Brands is doing a lot of damage. Heavy spin. Yaoi, no immortality. The pin down comes through from Annabelle. Another diversion to the back. Kabuki forced to run the other direction. The cavalry rerouted by the Tigers. Zuman pounces on their prey. Brands, like and bounce, pulled back by the dispersion, has immortality. An all-out fight. Good. Winter Truncheon now. Kabuki, can he deal enough damage on the Dreams? Implosion again, but it's only on the Good. Dreams losing immortality. Kabuki still free hitting. That's a Rose Gold Meteor by Brands, but Kabuki still to be able to free hit right now. As the immortality gets Pabia Heskill. Astral Meteor shot down, but he loses immortality as well. Now the Black Dragon comes flying down with one last dive, with one last petrify, and one last diversion. Evos Glory have wiped Liquid Aura out.
The cavalry have dropped on their horses in minute number 31 of game number 1. And that was a 5v4 situation, recognizing that Fluffy was still in the base because he had to clear. That was the reason for the re-engage, but it didn't pay off. Evos had the better team fight, and it looks like they're looking for the end of game number 1.
One man stands against the rest, and implosion from Dreams again. One nail in the coffin is all they need. Evos Glory strikes first.
32 minutes. That was a 32-minute game, the longest so far here at the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. A very back and forth game that was led by Liquid in the early stage, up until that mid. But the late game is where Evos Glory thrive.
See Evo's mom is feeling the moment. What a crazy performance. taking it to the longest game so far. That is crazy, man. Evo showing again that they do have that discipline. And even though it looks bleak, even though it looks like it's out of control, they have the experience and they have the presence of mind to just wait for the right moment. And it has absolutely paid off. What a harsh mental blow for Team Liquid.
Definitely not a great start.
Depends on how you look at it. It was a great start, not a great finish.
True, true.
was
What
great
a
for
game
Evos,
by
though.
Klokken. Wow. I mean, people were always talking about Klokken is like the lucky charm, and I thought it was more of like a funny, superstitious kind of thing that, you know, Indonesians like to dabble in. But performance-wise, that first game was so impressive. The last time he picked up the Luo Yi, we saw a similar performance, and he remained consistent. Without those plays, without those diversions, without that damage output, the targeting on Kabuki, that would have ended completely different in my opinion.
The fact that brands have, I guess, the call to just go for that late game build that we haven't seen. Most players want to go for that burst damage, wants to go for that power spike. But no, he knew this game was going to go this way, and he went with that DPS build. Beating a late game carry, man. Of course, it's a group effort, but they're showing again so much adaptability, so much flexibility. Even the diversion plays that were initially unsuccessful, eventually, with the minute changes, it has absolutely paid off.
It's a crazy comeback, an epic comeback. And with this crowd as well, that's what we were talking about, the people's champion. You can hear every single time they made a play happen. Every single minor victory, they celebrated. These fans celebrated every single thing that happened in that game that went to Evos' favor. And it showed. They were like, it just built up. The frustrations of Aura, Liquid Aura, also built up.
It was literally a roar. And they're still roaring.
They're not stopping. Until we get
why
the
should
result.
they?
I think that the Evos fans chant louder than RRQ earlier on.
I have to agree. Based on,
Yeah.
you know,
Right?
yeah,
I think so.
they are chanting louder.
And
Maybe
it's always been RRQ, honestly, that I'm always like, it's an RRQ match, let's go, it's gonna be loud. But Evos fans, they're coming through.
They're stepping up, man.
They're stepping up, and Klokken has definitely stepped up as well. Ladies and gentlemen, the player of the game presented to you by the official tournament smartphone, Samsung Galaxy. Again, right, I mentioned this.
without them getting 2 base starts. They only we're in a stadium, not a building. But ladies,
Technically, it's a
the
building.
stadium is a building. Hang on a minute.
yeah, but you know, like drafts. Game 2.
They're drafting their minds off.
Game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. It was Aura with the control, but they came back
Right.
by Evos. In game number 2, how's it gonna pan out, right? Again, another blue side loss.
Your team is
Oh, actually, that's a very good point. I am looking forward to the adjustments coming in from Liquid Aura. Hey, just like that. Hang on a minute. This is progressing a lot faster than I was expecting.
Ling Export Yuzong banned out. This is a change coming in from Team Liquid. From the side of Evos, it's still the Fredrin, we have the Harith and the Moskov, so exactly the same. And this does mean that the Roger and the Luoyi, once again, this is the exact same picks coming through, aside from the Yuzong.
I think they think the Luoyi and the Roger wasn't the problem. The real problem was Fluffy on the Yuzong because it stopped them from
It's our show
fully diving in, but also with the claw. So a few changes happening here, but still the Grok. So an early Claude over the Novaria that they secured in game 1.
Test. Alpha is online.
Oh man, just like that. I think this has to be part of the plan here. The Alpha left open, immediately picked up. I wonder if Liquid Aura has a plan for this, right? If they're expecting, anticipating the Alpha, and they're ready to try and set up for a counter.
This is so dangerous.
Yeah. the
It's
Alpha.
interesting and it's dangerous.
This is
The
literally
falling
the
stars
counter to the
brought us
Baksha.
here.
Mm-hmm.
Team is banning.
Remember when the Baksha was the meta, right? It was the best pick last season. You would expect the Alpha to come out to go up against it.
Yep.
A lot of teams, after picking up the Baksha, they would even ban out the Alpha. So it's strange that Liquid Aura feel the Yuzong is more of a threat than a signature Alpha pick.
Is it a blunder?
Or
We'll
is
see.
it?
I am the power of light
We'll see.
incarnate.
Because at this point, I mean, everyone has to know. If you think about Evo's Glory, you think about Alpha. It's a power pick. We've seen what Annabelle is able to do. You mentioned it's a counter. The last time that Annabelle utilized this Alpha, he was able to get a Maniac, by the way. So that early game pressure is definitely possible for Evos this time around. It's not going to be as simple as it was for game number 1. And if they don't even have bearings in the early game, what is the entire idea for Team Liquid?
When the body suffers, your
To see
team
what the
spirit
vision is,
blooms.
wait and see. But the fact that the Luoyi is still left open right here, and they
True
ban
love
away the Benedetta
is
as
like
well.
nothing
The
is
Paquito is
forbidden.
still a very realistic option. But for Liquid Aura, for sure, there has to be some kind of solution for this diversion, right? Because now without the vision coming into the Novaria as well, it's going to be so difficult. As a Terizla gets picked up for the side of Evos for that team fight / catch potential.
That's a fluffy main.
Exactly. And it's not just any
no.
fluffy main, Eterna. It's a fluffy main that has been in the nightmares of Iran every single night he sleeps. Because every time he plays Paquito or Benedetta against his Terizla, he wants to split push. He wants to cut waves. The Fluffy matches him every single time. He rotates a team fight, Fluffy matches him every single time. If Iran looks in the mirror, he doesn't see himself. He sees Fluffy.
What a terrible situation
That's
to be in.
terrifying.
Why? Are you saying Fluffy's ugly?
We did not say that.
I mean, if you looked in a mirror and it wasn't you, would that not be terrifying?
Oh, I get it now. Okay,
Right?
yeah, yeah.
Find a way. Even
We're
when
jumping into
it's
conclusions, but look at Aura jumping into the Vexana Chi-Chi combo. More independence, but it's a different approach right here. I guess the ultimate, the tie-in, can function as like a mini Carmilla ult in a way, but wow, they're still trying to go toe-to-toe and just deal with Klokun's Luoyi. No problem, just brute forcing it.
I'm excited. I'm excited. Is the Franco gonna come out here?
Oh, I don't know about the Franco up against the Grok, right?
Okay, fine.
It almost seems like Liquid want them to pick up the Franco.
So Minotaur, what's the plan for Dreams?
Tigreal?
I think
Minotaur or Tig. Those are the two picks. Typically, it's a
Before the might of
Minotaur.
Taurus.
Okay. I was about to say, I don't know if Dreams wants to go crazy, but it's a very tanky lineup. Maybe a bit of sustain might help. Something like a Florin, you know? But it's not Dreams' style. Maybe if Beloy was here.
But he isn't, because it's a different team.
Wait, really?
Yeah, wow.
Calm
Look
down,
at
guys.
Look at the draft index though. Heavily favoring Evos actually, but of course these are just numbers. In the land of Dawn, it's a whole different story, man. The human element in esports cannot be underestimated.
There's so much AoE for Evil's Glory, right? Luwu Yi. There's even a layer of CC in there. You have the Terizla. You have the Minotaur. These team fights are going to be difficult for Team Liquid. What do Team Liquid have in their drafts ahead of Evos? What do they play around?
They might have more flexibility and speed. Is still something that they very much have with the Baxia, with the Grok, with the CC as well. A lot more mobility available, but now I guess it's just mobility because even they substituted the carry for the Claude even, so we'll have to see how they maneuver around in these fights.
Game number 2, Team Liquid as well as Evos Glory. The White Tigers and the Cavalry head-to-head once again. Can the Tigers force yet another game 2? Wait a minute, what? That's an early first blood here by Yeheskiel. What in the world? What was that?
It was an attempt for Dreams to try and be disruptive, thinking that maybe they'll be tanky enough. It's a concussive blast Minotaur, so he's trying to be annoying, do more damage. And I guess he did slow the farming speed quite a bit. I know Annabelle, you can see how fast he's actually reaching the litho.
Crazy damage in the mid lane though. Yeheskiel very disciplined on that flicker, still keeps it, knows that there won't be enough to take him down, but that was close.
Yeah, the emblems here by GameSmax. Kabuki with the tenacity still, with the agility. Like we said, they really want to get that mobility advantage. It's what allowed them to get so much control in the early game, in Game 1. And with the agility for both, for Aran, Kabuki, and for Aran and Kabuki at least in mainly, they can really move around the map a lot faster. And if Evos are not in position to really start or receive a fight, then it's going to be a tough time for them to really go for these big fights. They might have to delay the game much later like we saw in game number 1.
Both teams want to go for the contest here of the turtle. You can see them starting to centralize, circle around this top side, help out both Aran as well as Fluffy. But they don't go for it. Ugun level 4, Annabelle with the same level. It's a 50-50 here, but it looks like Team Liquid are first to set up Annabelle.
Aran just taking him down, forcing the Spear of Alpha defensively. That should be a free turtle. Turgogun, and he retreats it, and his Fury comes out as well, and Yaoi just pops into Power of Nature while charged, and a flicker into the back. Clockhood stunned as well, the barrier to stop Clockhood from moving, from just walking out. He's forced to flicker. An all-out win for the Cavalry.
Big moment there. Yaoi, of course, finding the pick off yet again. Everyone going in aggressive though. That's a great maneuver, great small win. 2 kills picked up as well for Liquid Aura. Now Evos, they have to wonder what they're trying to plan for here, because usually they want to play around Annabelle and how much damage you do in the early game and how much sustain you have. But now, these are kind of a bit behind when it comes to the proactiveness. See, in the mid lane though, a lot of these clearing endeavors are always everyone grouping together and clearing fast and then rotating again, just in case, right? One of these teams are setting up for an ambush in that mid lane. If you look at the emblems, by the way, Brand's with the weakness finder. He went for Quantum Charge in the previous game because he needs a bit more kiting, a bit more sustain. Against the Claude, I guess he wants to be a bit more of a bully. He wants to try and get as much advantage he can in this early game.
So you're thinking that this time Evos want to have a little bit more of a tempo in the early game. Is that the main idea?
There's much more room to scrap. And look at Gugun.
Okay, now Blazing Duet canceled out instantly, but look at Glockun, who doesn't have the flicker, gets caught in the crossfire of Kabuki's shots. Kabuki just purifies out of that Minion's Fury.
And that's a bold play by Kabuki there, knowing he has the Purify, just stands there and takes it. But yes, Evos, you can see, are a lot more willing to try and go for these fights. They do have some more combos, some strong laners as well. So for now, we have to wait and see. Dreams, by the way, he went with the tenacity, but not with the agility or the firmness. He went with the Inspire, so they're really trying to bank on having enough card control and team fighting tools to just win it out, all out against Liquid Aura.
And now both of these teams are collapsing once again on the turtle. Yaskiel goes aggressively actually with his itemization with the glowing wand early. Diversion play.
Which for Annabelle, he has the Spear of Alpha, go good. So going for it, that's gonna be Annabelle, wins out the retreat battle, but Annabelle's caught in the midst of it all now as Yaoi pops in. The power of nature, in the end, it's just a kill traded in for the turtle. Evos, they have yet to secure a kill, but look at the gold lead.
Wow, that was unfortunate for Liquid Aura, man. The fact that Annabelle just got in there and kind of just snagged it away. Look at the damage that Brands has. It seems like they're going to be going for another scrap. For Evos, though, again, they're just winning out in these fights, kind of. And Annabelle, despite the fact that he's not really snowballing or doing anything too crazy, he's still showing again how much mastery he has over this hero. Able to steal, not against anyone, against one of the most consistent retribution-ers in the league right now.
Meanwhile, we do see Clockman picking up finally his second item, Enchanted Talisman. He wants to go for more of these plays.
Ooh, dodge from the penalty zone. Tying Fluffy and Annabelle up together now. Yaskiel rotating over. Fluffy going very aggressive under the turret. The turret has been taken down. Oran, oh! Dispersion and rotation. Oh my god! Oran almost disappeared.
That was close. They didn't get necessarily a kill, but they were able to get that very expensive turret in the top side. Aran needs to go a little bit more vulnerable if he wants to push in that lane. Meanwhile, with his 200 gold lead, let's see the differences of the items.
Well, mainly, we're gonna just call attention to Clockun, right? The fact that he was able to do that much damage, he only has the Enchanted Talisman, so it's all his spammability and built-in burst kit. Whereas for Yaskiel, going with the glowing wand means more team fighting prowess earlier, especially right now when the fights aren't long enough to really go for multiple rotations of the spells. There's a common build path we've seen a lot of mid laners take when they go with the Vexana, so we'll have to see. Now with the neutral objective spawning, it seems like they're preparing for a trap.
They don't fall for it. There is poke. Definitely over here. And in the last neutral objective take, Annabelle, he had to enter the vicinity last, or the first turtle would have happened all over again, right? Caught quite low, but now it's actually Aran who gets really poked here. Can he survive long enough?
It's a statement. His Fury and a flicker to enable Annabelle to look for a retribution. Even Yaoi cannot find the right wild charge. Annabelle sustaining through the damage and also dealing damage. Clockman in the back still free, hitting, but now getting chased down by Aran, forced to use the diversion to get back. But Evos have traded equally in kills again, but they've secured another objective.
I really do want to highlight Annabelle here. Coming into this match, it was the highlight of the rookies, and the rookies have been incredible. Annabelle is going against... Oh, wait a minute, Fluffy.
Oh, outplaying and surviving up top. Fluffy making these miracles happen.
He doesn't get taken down. That's insane. That was a 2v1 situation. Still going to be able to defend that tower in the top side as well as clear. But back to that point, right? Annabelle is going head-to-head with a jungler, a rookie jungler, that has been able to get the #1 in objective takes of Lord, as well as a turtle, and yet he's able to fend for himself here. Look at this. 1 turtle versus 2 turtles already now. Annabelle stepping up with the neutral objective take.
This is where Liquid Aura needs to be very careful, though. This mid-game with an Alpha, with a Minotaur, with a Lo Yi even, there's a lot of potential for Evos to really win out in this fight. So Liquid Aura has to pick and choose their fights. So far, they've allowed Kabuki a relatively okay laning phase. Despite going up against a Roger, despite going up against the diversion, he's still pretty much able to be farm and he's not really shut down. In fact, he has a gold advantage compared to Brands.
So it's still okay technically for Liquid Aura, but are they scaling? Are they in a composition that wants to weather the storm in the early game?
I feel like compared to Evos, their scaling actually isn't too bad. With the Vexana possibly getting more and more value the way the game goes on. Of course, Loyi having a non-combative ultimate, and at the same time, around with the Chi-Chi, if this game goes long enough, that CC can actually do a lot more damage, but of course it depends on whether or not he's even allowed the space to maneuver that way, because of course with the constant diversion threat, Evos can kind of deny Aran any real impact in the game.
Not just around though. Even in the jungle, right? Annabelle is ahead in that EXP. Gugun is a level below. This is something that we don't see quite often. Diversion play though.
Oh yes, still penalty zone. Oh, he flickers out of the penalty zone. Around now, ties Brands and Dreams up, going for some damage and the sustain. A good internal guard finds Dreams and he will be bursted down, but he still has the flicker. What happened? Yes, good, it's very Yaoi while charged into the blazing duet of Kabuki. Onto Kwaku he goes, charging in, now going back to the battle mirror image of the shield unity connects onto Annabelle, and Yaoi gets traded in. Kabuki in the mid lane, spotting Fluffy and Brands in that bush with the battle mirror image. Jumps back in, zoning them away. Good on the Lord.
This is a 2v3 situation, 2v4. If the S-Kill can get back in time. Fluffy still in the vicinity to open up vision, open up information. Is he gonna go for the Hail Mary play? Brands is coming.
Like and pounce ready, penalty zone gets popped in. Kabuki with nature, perfectly played by Kabuki on his signature pick. Brands, there's a diversion on him. So he decides to fight. Glockun brings him back an Eternal Guard. Gugun, Poison's popped in, but he will not be able to survive. Not against the claw of Evos.
30 seconds left for Gugun to respawn, but at the end of the day, it is Team Liquid with the Lord Arashi.
Still definitely much more valuable, and now they can really use that pressure to secure at least 2 turrets here for sure. And also, it allows them to kind of spot out where Evos is going to be, because they have to deal with this Lord. You can see it, they're showing up on the map right here, which means Liquid Aura can just go aggressively to try and take all these side turrets, the mid turret as well, ideally. But man, that was a great play from them to just go back and forth right there and force Evos once they know that they have that advantage. I believe Dream was taken out by the Lord randomly in the middle of that engagement, but that's just how chaotic today has been.
But it's not that much of an advantage, was it? They were only able to pick up 1 turret with a Lord push? And that's an outer turret at that.
Ideally, they would get more, but it turns out Evos have just that much threat. So look at Aura, they're just waiting for the next opportunity right here. And now it's without, again, the threat of the waves, the Lords. They're just still corralling together because they're concerned about that very annoying diversion play from Evos. We see Brands right here, but let's look at the items for a bit. Fluffy with the Athena and the gauntlet here. He'll be a lot harder to burst down because, you know, that item now doesn't really have an aura. It's anyone who hits you. So Fluffy will be very willing to just take some hits. And on the other hand, the same can't be said for Aran because he wants to be a lot more aggressive, a lot more maneuver and kite heavy. If he can get to the backline, that would be ideal. But of course, that depends on how the engage happens in the first place.
By the way, Annabelle is at a 1,300 gold lead. So among all his peers, he's the only one holding a gold lead. And that just really shows the comfort that he has on the alpha. We took a little bit of a fun fact earlier on by Gopay. 75% win rate so far. I think it was picked up 8 times.
That's a crazy win rate to have, man. 8 times picked up, 75% win rate. Wow. And that's why it was such a surprise to us that Liquid actually let this go. But so far, they're making it work. But they've also made that Game 1 draft work in the early game, right?
So to see how this game really concludes. On the items, by the way, Yehezkiel, no Wichita Talisman. He went straight for the Lani Truncheon and the Blood Wings. So he is trying his best to just have a lot of burst damage and be a real threat here. Not really planning on just staying there and spamming spells out.
That poke from Kabuki. Fluffy is able to regen. Very quick though, pops that regen. Liquid on the Lord.
Just dancing around
Yeah.
there, waiting for an opportunity. Fluffy though, isolated.
Barrier shield unity now, but Gugun's the one knocked up. Another Eternal Guards, Mini Fury catches him. Annabelle, Spear of Alpha onto the back, finding Yaoi and Gugun. Just like that, reclaiming control. The Lord Pit Plans going wild. Oh my goodness! Clawing Yeheskiel down to the ground.
The Tigers are roaring, they're clawing, they're on a rampage mode in the 14th minute of the game, just like that. Trigger happy, and 3 members of the cavalry are taken out. Annabelle gonna be able to use that to zone out the members of Team Liquid away, and these towers are falling down like flies.
Base turret in the mid lane, focused down by Evos Glory. Brands doing the same thing in the bottom lane though. 2 base turrets down for Liquid Aura, and that's before the Lord. Gugun, shield unity, Brands has the Purify, gets out, it's a bait for the dispersion, but a wild charge still connects onto Brands. Now it's gonna be Aran who walks back in time, but His Fury cancels it out. He pops in his own Purify. Annabelle is isolating Gugun from the 3 members in the back. It's a shutdown to Aran. Look at the diversion, into the back, it's Claw! He finds the dispersion, no rotation, that could have killed Kabuki. Flickers out of the Curse Blast. And now a siege could happen, a siege to end this game to secure Evo's match point. Kabuki with a Battle Mirror image in the back, but Gugun cannot withstand the slashes of the Alpha, who's online. Kabuki with a desperate blazing duet to the back line, out to Clockwood, but it does not matter. Evos pounce again, and this time they pounce straight at the base. Match point.
The cavalry fall behind the chase of the White Tigers. One more game away of saying goodbye to the playoffs, saying goodbye to MSC, saying goodbye to a potential reunion for Yaoi at MSC. But what an outstanding game for Evos. Game number 1 was amazing by Clock, and game number 2 equally as impressive, but Annabelle on his Alpha never fails.
You can see the fans just go wild. Evo's mom just emoting there at the camera, showing the pride, right? Her belief that she's always trusted in this team, and now they're actually delivering, going up against the dangerous Liquid Aura, and seemingly just shutting down their game plan all the way from the beginning. Evos, man, something is up with them. They're just improving at such an insane rate.
It's all about that mid trio. Annabelle, Clockwood, and Dreams. In the early game though, it was Yaoi, Yeheskiel, and Gugun. But for some reason in the mid game, both games in the mid game, they weren't able to fully capitalize on these Lord takes. The capitalization was not there, and it was even worse in game 2. In game 1, they got a big lead with the first few Lord, but then they managed the Lord waves as well, not as well, so that they couldn't actually get more than just one base turret with every single Lord they got. That Lord that they got in game 2 though was just one outer turret. One outer turret. That was, so far in this playoffs, probably the worst usage of Lord so far, right? Is it the worst?
The only person that they lost was Gugun, and yet they still weren't able to capitalize over that Lord push.
It's very
The main
unfortunate.
problem is they fought after taking the Lord. They got the Lord, they should have backed up, and they should have played with the Lord. And that was what Evos do every single time.
All right. How do you feel, Turner?
It is what it is, man. But it's a day of comebacks. Kind of.
Kind of.
1-2-0?
Oh wait, no. For talking, no. It's not a good day for that.
It's not a good day for reverse sweeps, but if it's equalizing, yeah, maybe.
You know, there's a first time for everything.
True. I do wonder though, are there any considerations from Liquid Aura here about the low Yi? I mean, that diversion play has been used so well again and again. I think in game 2 it isn't really as game changing, but it was still used, and it's still a lot of damage coming out from the low Yi, right? Even though he had like one item, only Enchanted Talisman. He's almost one-shotting these beefier members. I wonder if that is something that they are considering to pick away or ban out, because it's been out there twice.
But what's pick your poison. Not the utility, the neutral objective differences, the turrets differences, it was so close, but Kukun was 2 levels below of Annabelle.
It's just the alpha, the signature power pick. Let's look at the player of the game highlights here. Fallout Alpha for the official gold partner, Ubez Gold. All these moments where it's like a full-on fight, and in the chaos, Annabelle just finds a way again and again. And it's AoE damage, and it's also survivability. Something we've seen a lot today are these heroes, right? For our crew, it was Esmeralda, for instance. All these heroes that can do some damage, but also be tanky at the same time. When the games are just so skirmish heavy, I guess that's why Aran was going with the CC. But in this game in particular, he was just outmatched. We talked again about how Fluffy is so good in that EXP lane, in that team fight presence, and he still was doing that. And it's crazy, by the way, when we were highlighting how ahead Annabelle was with EXP, because he again and again gave up his life to secure some of these neutral objectives, and yet he's keeping up in farm. That's what the Alpha can bring for you, right? The damage, the sustainability, but also the farming speed that allows you to be able to make those sacrificial plays without falling too far behind.
He has killed there with a flicker to the wall too. And stun everyone in the room.
It's quite unfortunate how everything unraveled here, but again, right, if we're giving the props over to Annabelle because of the hero, because of Alpha, why isn't anyone else finding success on the Alpha?
It's an Annabelle. Annabelle's online. It's not Alpha's online. It's Annabelle is on online.
Oh,
They
15
broke
minutes,
the-
broke the pattern.
Exactly.
Maybe it's now
Oh.
going back, right?
That's not good.
Hang on a minute.
So by next game, we might have a 13-minute game.
That'll be crazy. No way.
It's a mountain, right? We love mountains.
We don't like mountains.
Wait, you said you don't mountain with
We
lake
like
view?
mountains with no lake view.
Oh yeah, I agree. This
Okay.
mountain is great too.
those kind of heroes, the global presences. And there you go, it's in a massive Lakeview. You can start chants, you can let loose knowing that the guys are gonna be right there with you.
It's the power of the support. And honestly, it's overwhelming, the cavalry in the building, ladies and gentlemen. You guys can get a sneak peek into it. You guys can actually understand what I'm talking about. And will this be a factor towards the mental gameplay that Team Liquid are currently facing right now? We mentioned about the rookies, we mentioned about the debut performances from several of the members from Team Liquid. Do they have what it takes to sustain through? Because ladies and gentlemen, I'll remind you once again, Dragon Phase of Game number 3 presented to you by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy. This is match point. Team Liquid have opted to first pick once again, blue side. Again with the export, against with the Ling, the Moskov, and the Harith. What's the last ban here? Are they gonna go for the Alpha? Are they gonna go for the Yuzong? Are they gonna go for the Luo Yi?
At this point, might as well try the Luo Yi, right? They tried banning out the Alpha, it didn't work. Yuzong didn't work. Luo Yi has been one of the core factors as to how they were able to find angles around the map with those diversions. They're just so crafty with it.
Alpha is online.
Before they decide to go for the Alpha ban. See, the Heskill's been phenomenal on the Luo Yi. They always first pick it, so maybe that's the angle. Maybe they want to first pick Luo Yi.
See value in me?
Interesting. Do they first pick Luo Yi though? If they go for the Baksha again, what'll happen?
I feel like that's just repeating the same story.
Oh.
They can move around faster, but at the same time, if it breaks, it doesn't matter. We double down. That is the cavalry way. Baksha once more. They want speed.
This is a big question for Gugun. Without the Fredrin, it seems like he's only been able to revert back onto the Baxia, and it hasn't worked out 2 games in a row. Match point, remember. The odds are against Team Liquid right now. And they don't even go for the Luo Yi, right? Evos, if they want, they can go for the exact same thing. Luo Yi Yuzong, Luo Yi Roger. Both of them works out.
Where there is light,
Your first
there
2
are
picks for
also
Evos.
shadows.
Has to be the Luo Yi. It's just been so valuable, so good for Evos. And it's the Yuzong. So maybe Liquid Aura were onto something. Evos really like having this Yuzong available. Maybe it denies some picks, but for Liquid Aura, that's the Roger sniped away. Now with the Novaria as well, that could be their reasoning how to deal with the diversion. It's going to be traded by the Claw though. Without the Roger, can Brands have the same kind of impact, the same kind of crazy playstyle going in, relying on the built-in tankiness and still just duking it out against Liquid Aura? We'll have to find out.
The Cavalry better pray tonight with the proper side of the coin with Brands on this Claude. They better pray it's not Mr. Fantastic. They better pray it's Mr. Bombastic, because
When the body suffers,
it can go so badly for Team Liquid right now. The Benedetta gets taken out here in the second phase of the drafts. And one thing to note now though, there is a slight adjustment coming through for Team Liquid with a Roger pickup now for Kabuki. Do you think what they lacked in game number 1 can be replaced with the snowballing of the Roger?
Interesting. It depends on where the Roger goes, first of all. By all means, it can still be flexed around if they want to try and attempt some curveballs. But if they want to go and get snowballing, I feel like in the end, it goes back to the same problem. You're snowballing, you get some towers. The diversion play from Evos has always been able to be the great equalizer, catching them off guard. Unless they have some kind of way to punish or deny the diversion, I feel like it's a matter of time type thing, right? It's only a matter of time before Evos find that big moment.
True love. So what's the counter? What's the counter towards the Luo Yi diversion?
They banned the Carmilla. Chip might be the answer. They haven't picked up a roamer just yet, and that's a Tigreal. So with the Carmilla ban, it makes sense, right? They might want to just go for something like a chip, utilize that grouping pressure, and they've got early game brawling power now with the Roger and the Baksha.
Bit of utility would be nice to ensure that if they do go for that, they're not relying only on the chip, and they have a secondary frontliner. The Baksha can fill in for that, but no. Grok once more.
Wait,
What
wait,
will be
wait.
the other one?
Is it a flex?
Yeah, exactly.
No,
No way,
I
right?
don't think so. It's not Iran's way to play the Grok.
So what's he going for? Paquito?
Hero?
Let's hear from the crowd.
What, CC again?
Some noise for yours.
Oh,
See again?
man, they changed one pick.
I wonder if they're really thinking that, hey, everything was good. It was just the execution. It's a bit far-fetched in my opinion. I feel like it's not really fair to think of it that way. For Evos though, they'll be very happy to go with this.
I think the plan
Oh,
is to snowball. Oh no. The
Wow.
plan, I think, for Team Liquid is that they wanted to go for a snowball. They didn't want it to go the way game number 1 did. They wanted to prevent that late game, the macro play that the Luo Yi can offer with the diversion. But then Evos comes in with a Nolan.
talking a bit about this, right?
We're talking about fast clearing junglers and how they are doing so well now. So Nolan, fastest clearing jungle, perhaps one of them, definitely in the top 3. So hey, if Baksha was having trouble against the Alpha in clear, Nolan's gonna be online very quick.
But in Nolan, it's also not as tanky, right? Not as flexible, but he is very maneuverable though, and that is the danger. Of course, we've talked also about the weakness of the Nolan, the fact that he does not have immunity. He doesn't have an invincible state, like let's say for instance a Hayabusa or a Ling. So he can still be punished, and against Yaoi's Grok, you know, I guess there is that idea that, okay, we can catch him. Now his ultimate doesn't remove crowd control, it only removes slows. That is something that Evos will have to take into consideration when they're going for these aggressive plays.
The Coliseum beckons, ladies and gentlemen, for match point. One more game away, and Team Liquid have to say goodbye to their chances of making it through the playoffs and into MSC. Can Evos do it? Can the White Tigers push this all the way to a clean sweep? 3-0. We'll have to see as we get into game number 3.
Interesting routing from Annabelle right there, immediately stealing away a jungle camp, and then now moving to clear his own jungle. It was very early, very active, and on the other side, Yaoi was trying to disrupt the farming, but he was there to get too early. Annabelle only just now has arrived.
They're doing damage to Yaoi as well. Gugu might be caught. 2 dispersion rotation, and it all ends up with Annabelle finding first blood, looking for more onto Gugu as well. It's a disaster at the start of the game for Liquid Aura. Kabuki trying to chase Annabelle down, but he will not find it.
They were looking for the plays, they were looking for the aggression. That, of course, Team Liquid have been so notorious for, especially with Yaoi on the Grok. But unfortunately, that damage intake in that jungle was a little bit too much for them to handle, and Evos were able to punish it. 2-0 already, giving a kill over to Annabelle in the early stage of the game is definitely not the tempo that Team Liquid were looking for.
So difficult for Liquid right now. You have to wonder what exactly is the plan. They are the ones jumping on the turtle up against a Yutong, up against a Luo Yi. This level 4 is going to be such a dangerous situation for Team Liquid to try and even scout out for information.
Annabelle is level 5 already. And he's actually been able to have that much fast clear, fast rotation that he's going to be able to steal that buff away.
All charge, but now gets knocked up as well. Dreams pops an implosion, finding Aran. Look at Annabelle just hovering around. Annabelle already stealing the purple buff away. Now Fluffy, furious dive and the petrify. Aran is down. Gogun can't even contest for this turtle. 1,300 gold lead in 2 minutes. This is the fastest gold lead of the series so far. And Evos look to try to utilize it all the way.
Guys, the pattern, we were talking about it earlier, it's looking like it might just work. We'll have to see.
I told you mountains are bad.
But man, look at Annabelle though. You have to appreciate how proactive he is. Even when everyone was setting up for the turtle, he had the opportunity, the speed to just immediately take away the purple buff from Gugun and just go back at it, arriving on time still to be present in those fights, in those contests. 2K gold lead with only 3 kills and 1 neutral objective. And it doesn't seem like they're gonna stop anytime soon.
It's just been so one-dimensional from Team Liquid in this entire series. They're going with the same strategy over and over, but it never works out. And now, again, Evos are very quick to figure out what the adjustment from Team Liquid is, and they go with the Nolan, and so far, it's done enough, right? Annabelle now already level 8. Meanwhile, Gugun level 5. It's been 4 minutes. 3 levels below. Well, now 2, but you guys get the gist of it.
Petrify, Furious Dive to Purify now, but you cannot purify damage, and Annabelle looks to burst him down just as he gets in range of Retribution. To get in range, that additional slow and movement speed that he steals away. Still 3 levels ahead of Gugun.
You're seeing that Yuzong laning prowess here. Maybe that's what Liquid Aura were just concerned about. Look at Annabelle though. It doesn't even matter if you're a fighter. The assassin can take out a fighter. We haven't seen that in a long time. But on a Nolan, with all that spammability, with all the extra damage you get from your passive, he is just spiraling out of control right now. And Team Liquid are just powerless to try and do anything about it.
They're still gonna try though. Gugun already in the vicinity here. He's 3 levels below.
Desperate attempt, but Yaoi has the wild charge, goes for it. Gugun still able to secure it. Meanwhile, on the back line, Clockman was able to disrupt some of that damage. Now a blazing away from Brands, goes into the battle mirror image as well, but isn't able to find anyone.
Oh, how did Gugun get the turtle?
Wild charge, Yaoi.
There it is, the space of Yaoi. That shouldn't have been possible, ladies and gentlemen. Kabuki goes in.
On the Dream, scratches him down and takes him out. Brands though has a battle mirror image, can go forward. Kabuki gets a shielding. With that ultimate again, Yaoi dispersed, rotated, always. The damage keeps on coming through, but he has the power of nature. This time, CC immune. And Yaoi gets out.
Interesting situation right there. You're seeing again the Grok used to secure a Retribution, and we've seen that for a long time. That's gonna be Annabelle committing highway robbery. It's a great play for Team Liquid to be able to secure that neutral objective, but in the grand scheme of things, you're still so far behind. It's almost like the troubles have only just begun.
Call 911 right now. Because the cavalry, they're getting heart attacks left and right. This is so disrespectful right now. A run!
Oh, he gets the Brave Smite. I thought the Lethal Ignition might be able to take its way down.
Oh, Dreams!
Implosion onto 2 Dreams. No barrier from Yaoi. He goes for the wild charge. Knocks Dreams and clocking up, but the Furious Dive comes through as well. No Petri from Fluffy. Saves it for now. Look at Kabuki in the back with the National Sphere connecting. That's a chase from Kabuki, but a Black Dragon form as well. We're going to turn it around onto Kabuki. The Petrify is ready from Fluffy. Let's go for it just yet.
That's some really good damage from that Yuzong. 1-0-1, but with the activity, with the impact that Annabelle has been. Oh wow! I don't even get to like analyze, man. They're just doing everything so fast. Even the lanes, even if these matchups are favoring Team Liquid, it doesn't even matter, man. If Evos are rotating this fast, being this active, it's never a 1v1.
That's why like the entire strategy that Team Liquid has looked for, has prepared for, gets one-upped by Evos. Diversion play, Annabelle goes in.
And he goes to the back, Kabuki, oh, gets caught in the fracture, and he gets chased down! You flip the coin, this time you get Mr. Fantastic. Brands with the blazing duet, Annabelle with the fracture, beautiful combo.
What is going on, man? Evos, they're everywhere. I think Team Liquid legit thought that, okay, the turtle's up, they're winning, they have a Yuzong. This is usually where the turtle dance begins. They go in the jungle and they just run into Annabelle and Brands. What is going on, man? Annabelle in particular, he always fight. He's just so much faster than Gugun. Even though it seems like they picked that Baxia specifically for that movement speed, for that roaming potential. It's just been completely outmatched.
4 levels. 4 levels ahead of Gugun, the player that was highlighted all the way from week number 1. Catching everybody's surprise, but what? Annabelle! Again, so much praise for Gugun, and yet Annabelle is the highlight in this game. He has the retributions down, he has the utility down, he has the jungling down, but look at him on the assassins! Not again, not like this.
A flicker baited out, just with a dash forward and a fracture. So much presence on this Nolan. And that's a 5-level lead. Ladies and gentlemen, in the Season 13 playoffs, a 5-level lead. Annabelle completely outclassing Gugun.
And Annabelle's taking all the spotlight, but Grants is also 2k gold ahead compared to Kabuki. He has the triple item power spike already this early on. You can see earlier Yaoi taking 2 or 3 basic attacks from the Claude, already chunked down to half HP. He is confused, going with a Dreadnought armor to try and mitigate some of these ability-based damage, especially from Annabelle and Fluffy. But at the same time, he's trying to do both, and he's getting neither, right? He's just so squishy right now that he can't even walk up to really scout properly for his team. They're going to rely on the hair skill. Only now has the Enchanted Talisman, probably building towards a Lightning Truncheon right here.
Wow.
Just faces down.
Here's the thing, right?
There you go.
So many fans out there are anticipating a reunion from Yaoi and his former team, Echo, at MSC. But they are a game away of saying goodbye to that entire notion that it was only just a dream from the very beginning. One of the contenders that a lot of people actually thought would do so well this season against a team that went minus. Evos Glory, number 9 at some point in the regular season. Aura, number 1 at some point in the season. And this is the result, this is the outcome that we have been given. And there it is. Here's the take. But they don't go for it. I don't think they know.
They spot Fluffy, but the Furious Dive is perfect. And Fluffy knows it's perfect. He recalls in front of Liquid Aura. Flashes the RRQ emote.
And there wasn't even any time to react for Team Liquid for that Lord take. Annabelle just immediately just deleted it. Kabuki now with the Malefic Roar, only on the 3rd item though. Evos has them completely destroyed when it comes to the farming speed. Gugun level 10 against a level 15 Annabelle. That's just a tough situation to be in for any player. And I think Team Liquid are feeling the pressure right now. And Evos, they're not letting up. They're still remaining aggressive and yet not allowing any chance, any real opportunity for Team Liquid to try and make a play.
This marks yet another step into this
man.
hero. Oh, wow.
Annabelle again with the fracture, finds as hell! Dreams finds an implosion! And that might just be it with a blazing duet. It's a desperate maneuver from Kabuki. He gets a Lycan Pounce down. He gets 2. But all of it is for nothing. The cavalry charge to their demise. Evos Glory continue their heroic run.
From 0 to hero, the White Tigers with an exceptional performance. 3-0 against the Cavalry. One team, one voice, one family. You can hear the crowd, ladies and gentlemen. Soak it in. A 3-0, so clean. The Evos fans are celebrating more than ever. The people's champions, that entire arc, it's coming true.
It's a movie, quite literally, man. Proving the consistency of their rookie jungler. Evo sends Team Liquid ID home with a clean sweep. Man, after that performance, someone called the Zookeeper, man. The Tigers are out of control.
And you can see the Cubs celebrate as well. The fans in the building from game 1 all the way to game 3. From 0-4 in the regular season all the way to this success. They continued their support. They've never wavered. They continued the absolutely phenomenal atmosphere, and I think we have to give props to the fan base here. Roar again! Another one! One more time! No.
Okay. It's enough,
All right.
it's enough. What a performance, Annabelle, Clockun, Dreams, all these members. It's no longer a brand show. The rest of the players, they've stepped up. And you can feel the emotions that are happening on stage, the joy, the agony, the relief. You can see Fluffy over there sending his former team home.
Sad sight for sure.
Oh,
It was rather tough, but
Gugun.
Gugun, man.
Oh, no.
You gotta feel for the guy.
His first playoffs for Iran, Yehezkiel, and Gugun, and it does not go their way. Tremendous future.
But we'll take now to Moko as well as Budeklar Mongstar. Take it away.
Betul sekali karena perjalanan ini tidak mudah dari regular season sampai dengan playoff hari ini. Tapi tentu saja hari ini di hari pertama tim Liquid Aura harus mengaku kekalahan. Tapi tentunya kita akan berharap tim Liquid Aura bisa comeback stronger di season selanjutnya. Mari kita sambut bersama, inilah dia the last bow from tim Liquid Aura. Terima kasih atas perjuangan kalian. Dan The Cavalry pasti menginginkan bahwa kalian akan comeback stronger dan akan menjadi kuda yang lebih ganas di season selanjutnya. Betul sekali, karena banyak sekali yang telah dilalui selama regular season sampai hari ini. Jadi ini adalah hal yang patut diapresiasi. Namun mari kita sambut, inilah dia pasukan macan Raja Hutan, Evos Glory. Wow, Evos fam di sana benar-benar dari awal memberikan dukungan yang terbaik sampai dengan Evos Glory berhasil mengamankan kemenangan tanpa memberikan 1 poin kemenangan pun untuk tim Liquid Aura. Brans. Wow, 3-0 kalian sabet dengan bersih. Ini berbeda sekali dengan regular season. Apakah ini Evos Glory yang baru?
Tiap gamenya reset kayak gitu aja sih.
Namun apa yang berbeda karena kita ngelihat di regular season kalian kalah bahkan 2-0 gitu sama mereka. Sekarang kalian yang ngasih telur kepada tim Aura.
Ya kita juga nggak expect sih, maksudnya bakal 3-0. Ya kita bersyukur aja lah. Maksudnya bisa menang 3-0 dan pulang cepat buat persiapan besok.
Wow, tapi ini juga adalah hadiah yang begitu menarik buat Annabelle. Ini first playoff kamu dan begitu luar biasa performance kamu. Dan juga kalau tadi ya, di awal kita sempat ngobrol sama Psychots, kata Psychots kaget loh ngelihat performance kamu kali ini di season 13 kayaknya luar biasa banget. Gimana tuh?
Apa tadi?
Kamu tuh performance-nya ini luar biasa sekali kata Psychots di season 13. Dan juga ini playoff pertama kamu dan berhasil nih di hari pertama.
Ya puji Tuhan lah diberkati sampai lolos ke babak selanjutnya. Ini juga jadi playoff pertama di MPL kan. Jadi ya semoga gak pulang langsung aja.
Wow, berharap untuk tidak pulang, namun ada grogi nggak sih di panggung sebesar ini, semegah ini babak playoff? Ada grogi nggak? Gimana kamu pertama kali menjajaki panggung ini?
Gak ada sih. Langsung hajar aja, apalagi denger kata fans ya. Selalu disemangatin sama fans.
Wow, itu Bude ya. Jadi ya grogi-grogi karena ada Evos fans. Tapi Anovel, ini kamu memulangkan tim Liquid Aura sekaligus juga ini saingan rookie yang cukup berat buat kamu di season 13 ini. Ada Gugun. Gimana tuh?
Ya Gugun jago sih. Cuman mungkin lagi kurang beruntung aja.
Lagi kurang beruntung, namun apa yang kalian miliki di playoff ini yang tidak dimiliki oleh lawan kalian? Apa nih, kayaknya Fluffy bisa jawab sih, bisa kasih tahu ya.
Apa?
Apa yang kalian miliki yang tidak dimiliki oleh lawan sehingga kalian yang mendapatkan kemenangan ini 3-0?
Yang pasti kita miliki Pak Ustadz kita. Pak Ustadz.
Itu,
Ya, Pak Ustadz kita.
Klaukun.
Laukun.
Namun Fluffy sendiri kan udah sering menjajaki playoff demi playoff. Playoff hari ini, playoff season ini buat kamu seperti apa sih?
Playoff season ini pecah banget sih. Kayak seneng banget lah. Kayak hype-nya berasa, kayak ya atmosfer dari Evos Fans juga berasa. Jadi kayak seru banget. Ya.
Seru untuk season ini dan memang dari tadi dari awal hingga akhir Evos gak berhenti untuk menyoraki dari Evos dan sekarang melihat dengan ada 3-0 katanya Pak Ustadz Klokun. Apa yang kamu sampaikan kepada kawan-kawanmu sebelum bertarung hari ini? Apa yang kalian discuss, apa yang kalian perbincangkan untuk memulai match hari ini?
Main aja udah, all in. Sisanya biar kasih yang di atas aja.
Oh, pantesan ya disebut Fluffy Pak Ustadz. Tapi, Klaukun, ini kan tadi kalau kata Psychots, kalau Anovel kaget nih ya ngelihat performance Anovel. Tapi kalau kata Psychots tuh kalau Klaukun emang dari dulu tuh jago. Bahkan disebut Psychots tuh sebagai Klaukun God katanya. Menurut kamu gimana tuh?
Bohong-bohong dia. Bercanda dia itu.
Bener kok, semuanya juga mengakui. Namun apa yang membuat kamu bisa bersinar? Tapi kenapa season ini nih? Ada komposisi yang memang kamu nantikan ke komposisi ini untuk Klaukun?
Nggak tahu sih. Mainnya nyaman aja sama anak-anak ini. Sama roster yang sekarang nyaman banget.
Nyaman yang dibentuk mereka. Namun Dreams, mengingat kamu melawan Yawi di match hari ini, satu roamer yang sudah punya title yang cukup banyak. Gimana Dreams untuk membaca pergerakan musuh, untuk membuat semuanya mulus untuk kawan-kawanmu?
Lawan Yawi, biasa aja sih.
Namun gimana sih untuk mungkin membaca dari tim Liquid Aura? Apakah nggak ada kenal mulus aja?
Gak usah ngebaca gameplay musuh sih, kayak benerin gameplay kita aja sendiri.
Dan apakah ini udah 100% dari Evos Glory?
Belum.
Belum, jadi kita bakalan ngeliat lagi ya bagaimana 100%-nya dari Evos Glory ya Bude. Karena esok hari kalian akan langsung bertanding. Namun memang ada di upper bracket, sudah ada yang mesti kalian, ada tim Bigetron. Gimana tuh persiapannya, apalagi nih ya kalau bisa dibilang Evos ini kayaknya most wanted-nya Bigetron. Karena di leg 2 harus dikalahkan oleh Evos.
Persiapannya kayak biasa aja sih, maksudnya ya kita dari coaching staff mempersiapkan drafting, terus strategi gameplay dan lain-lain, terus juga dari player ya pasti istirahat cukup, kita semoga bisa mengeksekusi strategi dengan baik lah, kayak persiapan kayak biasanya aja sih.
Apalagi melawan mantan ya.
Iya.
Akan jadi menarik pastinya. Ada Brans, ada Dreams juga. Esok lawannya adalah Bigetron yang menjadi pemuncak klasemen. Ada yang ingin kalian sampaikan gak sih untuk match esok hari ini untuk tim Evos? Ada pesan-pesan untuk match esok hari?
Good luck, have fun.
Good luck, have fun. Dan Fluffy, Evos fans nungguin kamu. Satu kata untuk hari ini. Berikan kata-kata hari ini.
Satu kata buat Evos Fans, kalian keren banget.
Itu 3 kata.
Dua ya?
Banyak.
Oh iya dah.
Nggak apa-apa, pemenang bebas. Mari kita sambut pemenang untuk match kali ini. Pasukan Macan Evos Glory.
Evos, Evos di sini. Evos, Evos di sana. You're not gonna join?
No,
Why?
absolutely not.
Why?
whoa, okay.
What's this personal
now,
vendetta with
I'm not-
Evos?
I'm
Listen,
trying to start
listen.
dancing out of nowhere.
Listen. You guys, I don't know. This side is sad. This side is sad. I'll take over. You know. It's okay. Maybe I'll join you tomorrow. Who knows, right? You never know. You never know. We'll
You
see.
still have lower brackets.
No, you don't. This is the first day.
No, tomorrow. You said you'll join tomorrow,
Oh,
and I'm
yeah.
saying you have lower brackets.
Maybe in 2 days. I mean.
You better start collecting the good karma then, instead of making fun of the guys who are, you know.
Mr. Sanford's like, Bigatron is like the strongest team in MPLID right now. So
Don't curse it. Don't you dare curse
I think Bigatron will win for
Don't-
sure. They are so strong. It doesn't look like there's any loophole to their gameplay. Onyx will definitely lose.
Just like Liquid Aura. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about the crowd, right? Because man,
I'm hyperventilating.
I'll be honest
from
with you.
sadness.
Yo, look at Annabelle. Look at that
Cocktail.
pose. Look at Annabelle.
Small.
Wow. This absolutely wow. This performance by Evos Glory.
Diagonally back to his orange buff, and look at there's a very significant dot on the opponent's purple buff, showing again that he's just there again and again every single time. This was an early game engagement, and I gotta say that's very ambitious of Liquid here to just go against a Nolan, right? A Nolan, a Lo Yi, and exactly, there's a bunch of spammable spells available on the side of Evos, and they absolutely took advantage of it. And man, that Nolan is just lethal.
Look at this play. First from Annabelle, follow up.
What's a diversion play?
And
my
then,
God.
Kabuki just having. Oh, yeah, has killed too. All the backliners just having the worst game of their lives because of Annabelle.
No one is safe.
And then Dreams. If all else fails, if you think Annabelle was the only one that could threaten you, no. The whole team is there. You got Dreams, you got Franz, you got Fluffy, then Annabelle again.
Clockton. Please don't forget Clockton.
That's why we need to forget about Clockton. Because the Tiger's secret weapon is its
Winter.
Nice.
Gue lagi bisa sih.
Dia masih mau ngegas ulang.
Ya dia mau perang.
Gue ada Winter.
Oh, bawahnya jelek ya. Cabut.
Aman.
Balik.
Bareng-bareng.
Let go. Gue demo.
Ayo,
Bawahnya jelek ya. Iya. Gua bawah. Ini nempel semua nih, enak nih. Gua bawah guys.
kemarin.
Dulu. Ya.
Si boy. Bagi.
Hati boy.
Ada nama brand.
Ya. Baksi aja udah, baksi aja.
Baksia.
Nice boy, kasih tau dah.
Ini.
Kali ini mika gua.
Gua bisa datang sih guys.
Gua dorong.
Gua nangin. Nice. Aman kah? Ini menang.
Dah.
Aman. Gua datang nih boy.
Nice boy. Imo udah pecah tuh.
Dalam kontak ikut. Kami sini boy.
Nice boy.
Nice. Nice guys. Nice.
I think that is the first time that in a golden moment by UBS Gold we have heard the crowd. It actually sounds like white noise. It sounds like static, but if you pay attention, that's actually the crowd going wild from all those little and big plays that Evos were able to accumulate. What in the world? Wow, I'm a big fan of Evos fans.
Me too. Now I think everybody
gotta
is a big
respect it.
fan.
Insane.
You gotta respect the hustle, man, of the crowd, because man, they were going every little win. I think I mentioned this already from game number 1. They can get a lethal Wanderer win, and the crowd will go wild. That's how wild the Evos fans have been. Now the only concern I have is keep your stamina. Evos might be here for the long term, right? I mean, looking at the performance today, 3-0ing Liquid Aura. Whew, hey, they might pull off some crazy upsets.
You know, at times there were moments when I had to double take into the game because they were screaming so loud. I'm like, wait, did a big play happen?
No, it's a
they
lethal
just took the
Wanderer.
lethal Wanderer.
Yeah. They're so loud.
Thanks, guys.
And even the way that they're celebrating, it's not just the same thing again
Absolutely.
and again. They had so many different varieties, different styles. And in the end there, with the lights, that caught me off guard. We were talking, I took a glance like, whoa, what the heck? Man, it's so creative.
So
and
much
again,
love.
you gotta respect the supporters that go through such lengths to show their support right there. Not just showing up and physically yelling, but also thinking of ways to really show that we are like the best supporters.
There's just so much love. And I do love that, ladies and gentlemen. We love to love Mobile Legends.
We have come to love this one player.
The player of the day by Kadia. It's Klokun from Evos Glory. People used to say that he was the Jimat again, right?
The lucky
charm, but today he's proven that he's way more.
It almost seems like, I mean, for Clockman, for the most part, right? Back in ISF, back in MDL, all these championships that Evos Legends